test that I'll be explaining is the T-test. So with the T-test, we're going to be using this on a tennis player, and it's an agility test. So why we use the T-test is because the player, when he's on the tennis court, he'll always be moving up and down the court and from side to side. Wherever the ball is, that's where he has to be. And the back pedaling as well, it's incorporated in the T-test, and it's for when you come backwards when the ball's hit over you.
So with this test, you start at the first beacon, run to the beacon straight up ahead, side shuffle to the beacon on your left hand side, side shuffle to the beacon on your right hand side, side shuffle back into the middle, then back pedal up until the beacon that you started at. Test, I would score him a bad because his time is above the norms. This test can also be used to check reaction time that the athlete takes to get from one cone to another.
Okay, so the next test that I'll be explaining is the push-up test. So the push-up test, we're going to use this on a tennis player, and why we use this is because in tennis there's a lot of forearm swinging and you need that strength in your arms, so that's what this test is for, and it helps for the chest.
So for the push-up test, when going down you have to go as close as possible to the ground, and when you come up you have to fully extend your elbows. This test is used to check if the athlete is able to use as much force as possible to return the ball back to the other side of the court. I'll score him a good because the number of reps that he completed is above the norm.
That I'll be doing today is tennis, and the first test that I'll be doing is the shoulder mobility test. So the shoulder mobility test is used for the serve in tennis and the spike shots. Okay, the way we're going to test it is that we're going to measure the length of his hand from his middle finger to the base of his palm, and then we're going to do the test with his fist behind his back and measure it in between there. That's 22 centimeters.
This test also helps us indicate whether the player is able to go through their full range of motion, and that will also affect their gameplay and their shots in the match.
That's 14.5 centimeters. That's 32 centimeters. For his left arm coming over, I would give him a 3, or actually a 2. Yeah, 2 is the highest. I'll give him a 2. And then for his left arm over. Oh, we need to add some exercise so that it's more mobile that way. So the next test that we'll be doing is the lunge test. So with the lunge test, the participant will hold this behind them, like this. They should keep it along their back and the top of their head and the top of their boots. Okay, from there, you just step forward. Your knee has to touch the ground and you should come up. And then you do the other side. Then you come up. Then helps with like your general running in tennis and also your knee stability, because you move a lot when you're on a tennis court and you're playing a tennis match.
So for the lunge, I'll score him a 2 because there was no compensation. And this test will also help us establish if the player can do long strides during the game.